Alrighty, so Guillotine Winter Slayer comes out later today at the time of the recording. Whenever the next reset is from when this video comes out, Guillotine will actually be out in the game. Right now, I do think Guillotine is going to be the stronger unit between her and Maiden, but I do think Maiden is going to be the more useful character. We're gonna see. Just because like Maiden is a buff towards a lot of the electric characters, right? And don't get me wrong, obviously Guillotine is a buff to a lot of the water characters, but there aren't that many good water characters for her to buff, where there are a decent amount of electric characters for Maiden to buff, right? But today I'm going to be talking about obviously who Guillotine's best partners are going to be, and then also if you should summon, which I'm not really going to talk too much about that because I already made a should you summon video for her. But it's more so characters that but like characters that should be like Guillotine's best partner. So subscribe and like, and let's get into it. So first things first, obviously Guillotine being a water DPS, she is going to be very, very powerful, right? I do like the whole kit about like the whatever level you are in the game, your like attack multiplies off that level. I think that's where her damage is going to overshine because of that reason specifically. I do think one of her best partners, or her very best partner genuinely, is going to be the other water limited character, Winter exactly, Ludmilla. And I only say that because Guillotine is going to be very, very, very powerful against bosses, right? Especially fire bosses, since she's a water type character. She's going to be very powerful against those enemies. Now the good thing about Ludmilla is that Ludmilla actually has damage taken increase by 12.56% for 3 seconds after landing 60 normal attacks that affects the target she's attacking, right? The reason why that's so good is because obviously this is a debuff essentially that she's putting on the enemy that is buffing up everybody on the team, right? Essentially everybody's doing 12.56 more damage to the boss, right? And obviously that's going to help out Guillotine, but because, you know, Ludmilla's a water character as well, Guillotine's burst skill is going to help out Ludmilla, right? Guillotine's first skill is going to help out Ludmilla, where she's giving a damage a strong element buff multiplied by her hero level, and she's also giving a 0.19% attack buff based on her level, right? Or multiplied by her level. Like she's giving that to water code allies. So that and her burst skill on top of already Ludmilla going crazy with the crit rate, already going crazy with the additional hits and all that stuff. You're gonna see some crazy combination with Winter, Ludmilla, and Guillotine, right? And both of them are water characters, so it's kind of like the move there, right? I don't think she's really gonna be that great for a lot of the other water characters, especially since it's like again, there's not that many good options, right? I mean, you could obviously have her with like some of the other DPSs, right? Like this, for example, affects the target, lowers defense by 32% on Phantom. Like anybody who's helping Guillotine do more damage that's a water character, that's going to kind of be a good synergy there, just because it's like it's not really good synergy, but they're working together and they're kind of helping out each other, right? Like lowering the defense on the enemy is making Guillotine do more damage, right? And then Guillotine is kind of working with them by giving them the damage effect, right? It's kind of how that goes. So yeah, obviously there's other characters that is gonna work very well with her, but it's like just the common characters, right? In terms of like the more different characters, it's really Ludmilla, right? I think the combination with Maiden is that it's going to be Maiden and Cinderella, and then the combination with Guillotine is that's going to be did I say Ludmilla? No, Cinderella and Maiden, and then Ludmilla and Guillotine are going to be the combination right there, right? Phantom is also like one of them, but not really. And then obviously the other characters who are going to work great with her are like the characters who work great with everybody else, like Crown, freaking Naga, like the other characters who are buffing her up big time, right? Since she does have final attack, this character should be like strong, right? I don't know if I'm gonna say she's the strongest character in the game. I don't think she's anything like that, but I do think Is she gonna be very strong? Overload gear and all that stuff for 1,000,000,000%. You fight a fire boss, she's gonna be up there. Because to deal continuous damage equal to 20% of the final attack multiplied by the hero's level every second for 10 seconds is ridiculous, right? Because if we're at max level, which is a level 11, that's 20 times 11, and then multiply that by 10 because it's per every second, right? Not to mention she's having attack damage buff increase, damage of strong element buff increase, not to mention she's having more damage of strong element buff increase once her level is level 2 or higher. Not to mention she's having a 1.81% attack buff that stacks up to 100 times. Again, the good thing about Guillotine is it's all continuously, right? So it's like once you do all these effects, it's there forever, basically, right? The moment she levels up, all allies get this continuously. All water code allies get this continuously, and that's why she's gonna be so good for water characters, right? The moment you get these stacks up, you're getting these continuously. You can put her with any of these stack buffers as well if you really want to, like Nikke technically, right? Don't forget, I don't think it's gonna be that great of an option since it's 100 stacks for Guillotine, but remember the Winter Nikke, who's also out, does help all allies with the stacking account, but it's after 150 normal attacks, and I believe this actually does get decreased at some point, right? Am I wrong? I guess I'm wrong. I thought this got decreased at some way, but I guess no, that was for a different character I'm thinking of, right? But yeah, this all being continuous effects just make it crazy, right? She buffs herself up way too much, so to have her with other buffers like Crown, Naga, and all these other characters, Litter probably as the main DPS, and then like what I'm thinking the team is going to be, it's going to be Litter. Wait, I do want to see something actually. Does Bunny Alice increase stat count? Because she's water. I feel like, I don't know why I keep thinking that she does. She does. There you go. That's who it was. I'm tripping. I'm like, there is a water character who increases stack, and that's who that could be. So you could run literally Bunny Alice as your healer, Litter, and then you can run yeah, no, it would work because she also gives ammo capacity and full burst gauge. Yeah. Literally, that's good. So yeah, you could run Bunny Alice as the main burst, not the main, but the burst one. Then you can run Litter, then you can run a Crown, then Guillotine and Ludmilla. That way you're increasing the stat counts for Guillotine through Bunny Alice here. You are getting max ammo capacity and your ammo reloaded for 15 seconds when you enter a full burst, which is going to be very, very helpful. She is going to be able to heal. That's what I was thinking of this whole time. Like, I knew there was a water ally who increased stat counts for water characters specifically, right? But then she heals up Crown, who's giving you that permanent 20% attack damage buff as well. And then obviously you have a healer as well, and also the damage interruption part if needed. So that's probably going to be the team, right? You could have either Naga or Alice, but for me it's going to be Alice, Litter, Crown, Guillotine, and then Ludmilla, or Crown, Litter, Guillotine, Ludmilla, and then Naga. That's going to be one of the two teams, right? And let me show you guys what that looks like in the actual game so you guys can see. So this right here would be the first team. Obviously replace this Guillotine with the Winter Ludmilla one, where you have Alice, Litter, Crown. It's just this team, or you would literally just do this again, and then you would have Naga in that last slot. Those would be one of the two teams that I think everyone is going to be using with these two, with Ludmilla and Guillotine. Or you don't even have to have Ludmilla, you can just take her off, but I feel like it would be a waste to use Guillotine and not have another water DPS on the team, especially since she's buffing up water characters. It's kind of like using Ludmilla with Red Hood, because Ludmilla's a DPS, like, or not Ludmilla, it's like kind of like using Maiden with a character that's not electric, like Red Hood. It just makes no sense because you're kind of wasting on a lot of the good stuff, especially for Guillotine, who has continuous buffs for water characters. So I do think it's going to be either this team or the other team that I'm going to use, which is the one with Alice. But you guys let me know what you think. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you guys don't have these characters, keep in mind Ludmilla is out right now, so if you do want Ludmilla for Guillotine, by all means you can do that. But yeah, I think that's what the team is going to be. But let me know down below. It's your boy Zxous. I'm gonna see you guys next one. I'm out. And remember, she comes out at reset.